Yo, AFC East Roundtable. Welcome back to another video and a live stream here on the Roundtable channel. I'm joined by the boys, Dan Mitchell representing the Buffalo Bills, TD Finstock representing the Miami Dolphins, and we got Ray representing the New England Patriots, filling in for Master at Work. Ray is back on the channel. You guys remember him. He filled in for Master at Work last year. Great to see Ray again. Tonight we have a special show because training camp is right around the corner. Dalvin Cook has yet to be signed, and things are progressing in the Dalvin Cook's situation. So we'll see if he's actually going to sign with the team in the AFC East or not. The Jets officially will be on Hard Knocks, so let's talk about that in this show. And I just want to go over some expectations that we all have for our respective teams and expectations for the rivals' perspective. So let's get into it right away. But before we do that, guys, do us a gigantic favor by simply hitting that thumbs up button. Really does help out the video and help out the channel a lot. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We are inching so close to our new goal of 8,000 subscribers. I think it's feasible to get it done by the start of the season. Hell, we could get it done before training camp begins if you guys really want to help us out. So smash that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and let's get started. Dan Mitchell, let's start off with you, man. You're looking jacked over there. Look at that guy.
Oh, dude.
Has the guns out and everything.
Oh, man. I wish. What is going on, gentlemen? What is going on with the AFC East Roundtable today? Listen, guys, super exciting show today. Not as exciting as it is about to be here within a couple of weeks. I know all four of us are equally excited for us to actually have some incredible news to discuss. And it's going to happen here with just in a couple of weeks. Training camp is right around the corner. Very excited to start diving into this and see who truly earns their bragging rights once week one is right around the corner. But all is well from your boy.
Ray, how you doing, man? Welcome back to the channel.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen. I don't have anything pre-planned like Dan Mitchell there, but yeah, this is the time of season that you just talked about BS, for day in and day out, because I can't talk about DeAndre Hopkins anymore, so it's a little bit disappointing. It's just I can't have that conversation. Maybe I can talk about question marks around Mac Jones. We've only been talking about that since last November. I can't wait for training camp to start. I can't wait for overreactions. I can't wait for some nobody to make 3 catches in camp and all the Patriot fans out there screaming that he's going to be the next Randy Moss. It's looking forward to it. Happy to be back on YouTube and away from shitty networks that were holding me down.
Awesome. Great to have you back, Ray. TD, welcome. How you doing, fella?
I'm doing good, man. Just getting refreshed. I know a lot of people have been missing me, especially on my channel. I haven't been live in over 2 weeks. And I'm debating right now if it's going to be another week and a half or not. A little bit of a vacation, forced vacation by the wife.
Forced vacation.
Yeah, I go pretty hard during the season. So she's starting to talk to me about taking forced vacations at some points of the summer. And I'm only allowed to do the round table. Hey,
so TD, by the way, I'm actually going to be in Miami in 2 weeks, bro.
I know it. So we're gonna have to, maybe
let's get up for like a collab, bro. Let's do like an in-person collaboration or something. Should be fun.
If we can link up, definitely, because training camp is coming as well in a few weeks. But we'll see if we can link up, because I got something going on down there anyway next week. So we'll see when you're coming in. But yeah, man, just been getting rest, and I've realized, guys, man, I never realized how much I love the game of football.
Oh,
I just sitting back, not creating any content. I'm sitting here realizing this is about to be one of the most exciting seasons that I've ever been a part of when it comes to the NFL. And this isn't even about the Dolphins. It's the competition is so prime right now that it's like, I just can't wait. I can't wait for these big matchups, man. I can't wait for Buffalo to win 3 games. I can't wait for, the Jets to tank, even with Rodgers, and the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl, and the Patriots get in with a wild card. It's going to be funny, y'all. Watch. Y'all going to see.
But yeah. All right. TD's back.
But been good. It's been good times, man. I'm enjoying this rest. But I'll be back soon. I'll probably do a stream tomorrow, just letting people know what's going on. But that's it, man. Dalvin Cook, all that stuff we're gonna talk about.
You know what this song is called? It's called Daydreaming.
Here we go.
That's what TD Finns Talk has been doing. Just dreaming. A fantasy world. What would it be like with the Dolphins winning the division, the Bills winning 3 games, the Jets tanking with Aaron Rodgers? Yep, this is built in with StreamYard.
Good.
But it's called Daydreamers, and I thought it'd be a good thing just to put on, just so we can all listen to the melody that TD Finns Talk has been listening to get himself in a delusion.
Daydreams, Buffalo winning the Super Bowl. Our daydreams, Aaron Rodgers getting in his prime is a daydream. The Patriots on their behind, that's a daydream. The Dolphins winning a Super Bowl, dreams come true. The best you told. I'm going. Oh man, I messed up.
Oh, he's going in on that. Okay.
It was the flow, man, right there. I was respecting it. I was respecting it.
Bars, man, bars. See,
Bars,
I can't be doing that, man. I get 100,000 a verse, man. I can't be doing that.
Yeah,
100,000 a verse.
Oh my gosh, that was. See, you never know what's gonna happen on an every Wednesday night for the AFC East Roundtable because that was not scripted.
It was.
That was awesome. Well, that was a great way to segue into the show. Everybody, hit that thumbs up button real quick if you enjoyed that TD Finns Talk. We're gonna have to clip that and make that like part of the intro or something because that was pretty good.
Good thing Tyson ain't here.
I feel like we all gotta see it.
That was pretty darn good, man. I could see it. Hey, I'm a freestyler myself, so
tomatoes emoji
I got
in there.
Someone threw tomatoes.
Yeah, someone put a tomatoes emoji.
Negative tabs makes sense.
Haters, man. Haters out here in full force, man.
Tony's in here though. The $2 super chat. Jet up,
Tony!
Jets Nation, stand up, baby. Let's go, Tony. We appreciate you. First donation of the night is a Jets fan. What else is new? Ooh, because we're ready. All right. Let's get straight into business. First, I do want to talk to Ray about something. And if Dan and TD have any takes on this, if you're even aware of what's been going on across the NFL yesterday on Twitter, feel free. But Asante Samuel has been exploding on Twitter, talking crap on Sauce Gardner. And then he decides to throw in Darrelle Revis' name out there and start talking crap of a first ballot Hall of Famer who's about to be inducted in just a few weeks. Now, I personally believe that Sauce Gardner is just overhated by the world, which I still don't understand why. It's not like he's a player that's been in the league forever and just has a bad rep. I mean, he had one great season, and everyone just hates on him for some reason. I don't understand it, but that's okay. Asante Samuel kept tweeting some nonsense. So I want to get Ray's perspective from a Patriots fan. What's going on with Asante Samuel, and what the heck is happening with this? Like, give me your thoughts, Ray.
So, first of all, you're talking about Asante Samuel like he's relevant at all in the world of football, or like he was ever relevant. One thing Asante Samuel always forgets, too, is that he did nothing after he left New England and he did nothing without Bill Belichick. Listen, Asante Samuel and I go back in history with each other. We have exchanged pleasantries in the past. Asante Samuel hates everybody. He hates Bill Belichick. He talks about Bill Belichick all the time. He hates New York. He basically hates everything. The fact that the Jets receivers, back when Rex Ryan, of all people, was the coach, was calling them Mr. Double Move, made me just feel so good about things. Listen, Asante Samuel is best known, for those of you who don't know who he is, he's best known for blowing the Patriots' perfect season. During the Super Bowl, everybody always talks about the helmet catch. What a lot of people don't know is the play before the helmet catch. Eli Manning just threw this little flutter up to Mr. Pick Six, who just let the ball go right through his hands. It would have sealed the game. The game's over. The Patriots could have run out the clock, and he ruined the perfect season. He never acknowledges that. He never acknowledges all the bullshit. He never acknowledges that he has 51 interceptions because I think he was one of the most targeted cornerbacks ever in the NFL, because you target bad corners and you just had ample opportunity to pick things up. I don't understand the hate for Sauce either. It's weird because I remember after the draft, when he got drafted, I was talking to people about him, like, just people didn't like Sauce Gardner coming out of college. So it weirds me out as well. And I mean, Darrelle Revis won a Super Bowl. He finally got away from New York for a little bit, came to a place where you can win a Super Bowl. won a Super Bowl, was a big part of that 2014 team, and then he went and signed a big deal back with New York and got fat, and it all worked out good for him, right? Because he got a ring, first ballot Hall of Famer. But Jets fans, welcome to the life of Patriot fans when it comes to Asante nothing. You can't take anything he says serious, and Darrelle Revis just absolutely ate his lunch yesterday, and he probably could have slept with his wife if he wanted to.
Yeah, dude, Revis's comebacks was just hilarious. TD and Dan, were you even aware of this going on, or is this out of your scope because it has nothing to do with the Dolphins or Bills?
Well, I personally, go ahead, Dan.
So 1,000% outside of the scope. I heard about it while we were talking with Yumi and Ray right before the show started, Richie. And I mean, honestly, I didn't know about the whole Asante Samuel misinterception back in the day, or I didn't have it top of mind. But I mean, I think the disrespect or whatever when it comes down into Sauce is pretty crazy. And I mean, this is coming from a Bills fan, right? I mean, game respects game. And I mean, I think that as of right now, he is the best cornerback in the league as of right now. I know a bunch of Bills fans always try saying, oh, he's the king of the hold, he's the king of the hold, he's the king of the hold. But not so much. He's super talented. And, I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, you're not on the top unless you have your share of critics. And it just so happens to be Asante Samuel.
That's what I said in response to Sauce, responding to the hate. I'm like, hey, greatness comes with hate. Welcome it, baby. That means you're doing something right. TD, what about your thoughts?
I really don't follow Asante Samuels. I don't know much about him, honestly, other than the fact that he made me happy when the Patriots didn't win the undefeated Super Bowl. So the Dolphins are still. So Asante Samuels I got for that reason and that reason only. But I will say this. Asante Samuels aside, I don't see no lies. I mean, I can understand the crazy talk about Revis, but Sauce Gardner, overrated at the end of the day.
Oh, man.
The man did it. The man did it for one season, and all of a sudden, he's about to go to the Hall of Fame the way y'all act. I mean, at the end of the day, we all know that's why all these clips are everywhere on Twitter. Oh, they want to clip him holding, because that's all he do. That's all he do. Hey, it is what it is. He don't get called for it. Good job last year for not getting called for holding almost every freaking play.
Almost every freaking play is such a lie. Stop pushing that fake-ass narrative. I'm not going to let you say that.
Well, let me say this.
It's a lie. Literal lie.
Let me give Sauce a little bit of credit. I love his physicality. I actually love his aggressiveness. I love the tugging and pulling to the point to where it's not egregious. That's the type of corner that I actually love. But I ain't finna sit here and make it seem like he don't do it. So at the end of the day, it's one of those situations where the NFL is officiating this year. They are going to decide if he's going to be a Hall of Famer or if they're going to calm him down a little. And I'm telling you, Richie, unless he done took a whole nother level in his game where he ain't got to do none of that and still be dominant. But at the same token, let's be honest, y'all. I ain't going to knock on Sauce when I say this. All the greats do exactly what he does. That's how you're supposed to play it. But it still don't mean he don't do it, and I'm going to use it. So
the great ones are the ones that know how to get away with it and know the rules, and when he gets touched, it's a handsy battle. And Sauce knows how to hide it, and that's called being a good corner.
Y'all put this 1 year wonder over Jalen Ramsey, best corner in the league. 1 year.
The reason why it's not like it's year 5. It's talking about year 1, rookie, first defensive back since Ronnie Lott to be a first-team All-Pro. That's why this hyped up.
He's an up-and-coming corner.
I have to agree with TD. I think he gets totally disrespected, but when I see the best corner in the league thing, that makes me roll my eyes because you can't start calling somebody the best in the league until they start consistently doing it year after year.
Give me 3 years.
And I can agree with that for sure.
In 3 years, if he looks like he looked like in his rookie season, then I will gladly tell you he's the best corner in the league. But I can't agree with people saying because now there's a year of film. And I know that people hear that, but that's a true thing. There's a year of film. And when there's a year of film, that's when you start to see it. And TD's and the referees watch film too. And they look for that holds and they look for that shit. Like they start drawing that stuff out. And when it becomes a public narrative, I remember I was talking to this referee once. We had him on our podcast. And when there's public narratives like this guy holds all the time or this guy always does this gets flagged during training camp for the referees. Hey,
Yes.
Sauce Gardner holds and clutches and grabs. Watch for this because they try to get rid of that public narrative. So if he can overcome that this season and keep doing this 2 or 3 years, if he does it again this year, if he's got back-to-back seasons, we can have an honest conversation about it. I can't have an honest conversation and call him the best cornerback in the league after his first season.
And I can totally respect that.
And this year we'll have credibility because you have the toughest schedule in the NFL. Like with our whole division, we're at
Credibility. So you're saying last year there's no credibility?
Richie, do you want to name to the people all the quarterbacks he played last year?
Do you want me to name the wide receivers you went up against?
Do you want me?
Do you
to
want me to
talk
name
about-
the wide receivers that he had to guard?
No.
What's
What
more important?
good is a wide receiver with a trash quarterback?
What good is a superstar wide receiver?
What good is a wide receiver with a trash
Literally,
quarterback?
he went up against all 5 of the top wide receivers
Bro,
in the NFL.
Do you know how much film I watched on Sauce getting burnt, but the quarterback throws short and he catch up?
Show me. Show me that.
Show it up. Pull
Bring
it
that
up,
up.
TD.
Bro,
I can think of maybe 2 or 3. That's it.
Sauce get listen. Every corner get 8.
That's just
Every corner get 8.
Stephon
But lucky
Diggs.
for Sauce-
Stephon Diggs is the only receiver that beat Sauce Gardner over the top last year.
Yep,
No, I
that's
look
it.
at it.
I
like,
watched
look
every
at-
snap.
No, I look at it like this. He a bum if he let Josh Allen do that to him. That's
And
Josh
then
Allen.
he picked him
come
off.
on, bro.
He picked him
That's
off
Josh
later in
Allen.
that game, though.
That's Josh
picked him
Allen.
off.
Yeah, that was trash time, man. Get out of here. That was Josh
Trash
Allen.
time.
You
That
know-
was crunch time in the fourth quarter to ice the game.
Richie.
That's the best
Sauce-
quarterback in the division. Personally.
So let Sauce do it this year, and then he'll get the respect he deserves.
Hey,
With
no,
y'all
listen.
around-
I completely respect that you can't crown Sauce to be the number 1 corner in the NFL by a large margin. Like, I don't think that should be a narrative. Some people are saying it, and as a Jets fan, I'm like, cool. Some people think he's the best. You're right. He has to be consistently great. But I think the reason why there is so much hype is because the cornerback position in particular usually takes a couple years to develop. They're not that great right away. The fact that he was a first-team All-Pro and a Pro Bowler and the Defensive Rookie of the Year in year number 1, that's the reason why there's hype around him. So we can move on from it.
I'm all for the hype.
I just want to stifle the hype one little bit. And the best case study to look at for a first-year corner is Devin McCourty, who turned into a great safety at the end of his career. I called one of the most underrated safeties in the league. So I think he got overlooked because he played with Tom Brady, and any kind of great defensive player who played with Brady kind of got overlooked on things. But if you look at his rookie season with the Patriots, he was one of the best corners in the league. You know what I mean? Like, he looked phenomenal, and then he just fell off a cliff going into year 2 again because now there was tape on him. There was things, and they actually had to convert him to safety, and he became a great safety. I'd say one of the top safeties in the NFL. But there was a shit ton of hype around McCourty after, I think, the 2010 season when he came out, and then year 2 and year 3 just got brutal, and then they had to transition to safety. It was good. However, if, let's say, the worst happens and Sauce does struggle, because he's a big physical player, like, he could be an Ed Reed type of safety. You know what I mean? Like, he could easily convert into that backfield.
That ain't happening.
I know one thing. He better not struggle, or he trash. He better not struggle.
Hey, that's the thing, though, to cap off this talk, to move on to the next segment. Now there's this much publicity about Sauce. Every little play that just doesn't go his way is going to be, like, everywhere. Like, oh, it's a lockdown game. Literally has a pick that game, 2 pass breakups. The Jets win, but he had a snap where the defender, like, mossed him or something, and that's going to be everywhere. That's just going to be the type of season. I'm expecting that. But, hey, comes with it when you're that great.
He got to deal with Tua twice this year. Last year, he escaped.
He escaped Tua, but he still clamped up Waddle and Tyreek.
I don't know if it might be like that, though, because you got a bigger distraction in New York this year. That Sauce Gardner could get away with having a little bit of a drop-off, because Aaron Rodgers is going to have that microscope all over him and could actually take some heat off of it. Sauce could go in, as he's in a pretty good position. He could have a little bit of leniency this year, only because there's a bigger fish in the sea right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. The Aaron Rodgers talk is going to be everything. And also, if the Jets have a better offense this year, which, I mean, they're going to. The Jets' offense was literally historically bad last year. That's also going to put pressure on opposing offenses to be aggressive against the Jets, which is something they were not last year. Offenses were so comfortable versing us that our offense stunk, where they were being just conservative and not forcing the ball. Now, with our great defense, if we're scoring points like we're hopeful that we're going to with Rodgers, it's going to force opposing offenses to be more aggressive, which is going to turn into more hopefully more plays and turnovers for the Jets defense to make, because that was the Jets defensive issue at the back end of the season, was forcing turnovers. But hey, we'll see what happens. There's a lot of hype surrounding the Jets in general, so it's just a matter if they're going to live up to it or not. And speaking of the hype for the New York Jets, I think it's a good opportunity to segue into them officially being announced on Hard Knocks. So there's a lot of rumors about this. The Jets have been fighting with the NFL for months to not be on Hard Knocks, because we already have one of, if not the best show in the league in terms of covering football. I mean, they're literally an Emmy Award-winning production team of One Jets Drive Films. But it's official. The Jets are on Hard Knocks. And anybody that pushed the narrative, oh, the Hard Knocks curse. Yeah? Well, who's the last team to be on Hard Knocks to win a playoff game?
The Jets.
Anybody want to answer that?
The Jets.
The Jets. So don't want to hear the Hard Knocks curse narrative, because the Jets went to the AFC Championship last time they're on Hard Knocks. So, hey, that's going to bring the Jets even more into the national scope. You know, the whole world's going to watch. Like, only Jets fans watch One Jets Drive, which is why I love it. It's just like our little thing to see behind the stories. But the whole NFL world watches Hard Knocks. Doesn't matter what team it is. And now they're going to be inside with Aaron Rodgers, with Sauce, with all these players. So what's your guys' thoughts of the Jets being on Hard Knocks? Does that spark any interest, or are you not even going to watch it? Dan, I'll start off with you.
So starting off with Hard Knocks, I do find it interesting because I like the fact that it's certainly objective, as far as like HBO has no qualms against like really trying to create some sort of drama within a locker room, right? So I'm hoping, from a Buffalo Bills fan perspective, is that we catch a couple of those side interviews where like we see one player sort of talking shit about like a coach or like another player or something along those lines, and then that gets brought to light during the season. I definitely understand why the Jets wouldn't want to have HBO involved during Hard Knocks because of that alone. It's definitely going to be must-watch TV, and so I think that Aaron Rodgers alone is like a very interesting person to keep up with, as far as his personality, with all his ayahuasca and like his hippie mushroom like trips and stuff like that. I feel like that's going to be intriguing, but I could 1,000% see why the Jets didn't want it to be involved whatsoever, because I do see that show, and I've seen it do it in the past, create a bunch of unnecessary drama within a locker room, especially when it comes down into showing some of their weaknesses. I'm not necessarily sure that it's going to be a death sentence. I don't think that it's going to affect how the Jets play whatsoever. I think that's already been written in stone as far as destiny is concerned. But it's going to be must-watch TV. It really, really is. And I just hope that it creates some sort of locker room drama, especially before week 1.
We'll see about that. Ray, what's your thoughts about the Jets being on Hard Knocks?
So Hard Knocks isn't as big a thing north as it is for you guys.
And why don't you tell the people where you're from? Because some people probably don't know.
I'm from Toronto. I'm from Canada. I'm from Toronto. Like, actually from Toronto. People say they're from Toronto and they're not. Like, I'm actually from Toronto. Just so Americans know, if anybody ever tells you they're from Toronto and they pronounce the T at the end, they're not from Toronto, because we don't pronounce it Toronto, it's Toronto. So that's how you can tell the difference between someone who's from the six or not. So I catch like little clips on YouTube and stuff. We have HBO here, but I'm not really into that reality stuff. So what I do know about Hard Knocks, and this is interesting, and I kind of wanted to go and watch a few seasons of it to see. So I don't know if after the Patriots won their last Super Bowl, Brian Hoyer came out and they were interviewing him after the Super Bowl, like a couple of days later, and he's doing all that post Super Bowl stuff. And he was the backup for the Patriots. And he was saying that he went back doing his Super Bowl prep and watched the Rams Hard Knocks from the year before. And in the practices at the Hard Knocks, they were doing signals and doing things and doing these scenarios. So he started comparing it to the modern day film and realized that they were doing the exact same thing. Like, they were starting to like these different scenarios. They were running the same stuff. And he actually, more of his film study came from what he was seeing in the B-roll from Hard Knocks than it was for anything else. Look up the interview. It's fascinating how he talked about how he broke down Hard Knocks and basically brought that game plan to Belichick and said, hey, in this scenario, they do this. In this scenario, they do that. And then they kind of, went through film and found it and confirmed that from the modern day and filmed what it was. I'm going to be honest with you, Richie, and this has nothing to do with me being a Patriots fan. This has nothing to do with anything. I want the Jets to be a disaster this year only because of Aaron Rodgers. And I'm going to put it like this. Green Bay is a football town. We know that. Dallas is a football town. Like, you can name all these great football towns, New Orleans, right, where they're diehards. The New York media, man, because it's very similar. I talk to New York media guys and I talk to Toronto media guys, especially around hockey here, because that's kind of like, it's bigger, that's our thing. Toronto, New York media is a different beast. It's not the Green Bay media. And I know that Rodgers has had all this national attention, but the New York media is a different beast altogether. And if things go bad and that New York media takes over, I want to see just Aaron Rodgers deal with that, because he couldn't handle the Wisconsin media. Like, he couldn't handle the media in Green Bay. He used to get pissed all the time. Richie, you're there. You see it on a day-to-day basis. Do you understand the entertainment value that's going to be if the Jets start out slow?
I mean, of course, with all the hype around us as well, with the expectations that the Jets have, and with Aaron Rodgers being his first time not a Green Bay Packer, his first time with the new team, of course, if we start losing, it's going to be the biggest story. I mean, it's going to be the biggest story regardless of whether we're winning or losing. If we're losing, it's a big story. For winning, it's a big story. So you're right.
Yeah, and again, the New York media is just insane. So now you've got Hard Knocks in New York, where if Aaron Rodgers blows his nose wrong, it's going to be a story for like a month, right? Like, wasn't Zach Wilson's mom like a story for like a month?
Because last year.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's and Wilson sleeps with other people's mothers, right? Like, that's not how it all goes. I mean, New York, I'm telling you, I don't care. Look, Patriot fans that are from Mass, you always talk about how terrible the Boston media is, and Chicago always talks about the Chicago media. Nothing is like the New York media, man.
Nothing.
They're a different beast altogether, and people don't believe this, but the second closest is Toronto. So I know how you guys are. Try being a Toronto Maple Leaf. You know what I mean? Like, try playing for the Maple Leafs here. Guys won't sign contracts here because they don't want to be a part of the Toronto media, because it's just ruthless. And so I want things to be a disaster just so I can watch Aaron Rodgers deal with the New York press.
Well, Ray, I hope your wish doesn't be granted, because I do not want to see a disaster as a Jets fan, but I appreciate your honesty. TD, how about you? You going to be first in line right when it drops? Woo! Jets on Hard Knocks.
I haven't watched Hard Knocks in a while, but I will be watching this year. I'm actually excited about seeing Aaron Rodgers cook Sauce Gardner every day in practice. But yeah, I just want to watch it this year just to see how the team is actually, coming together. I'm no fool, okay? I've been telling Dolphin fans they don't like to hear it. At the end of the day, I try to keep it 100 as much as I can as of late. The Jets are going to be a good team this year. That's just the truth. They have a O-line with a little bit of depth if it can stay healthy. They have the running game, and it could get better depending on this Cook situation. They have a quarterback who doesn't need to be prime Aaron Rodgers. Like I told people last year, if the Jets just had an average quarterback last year, they would have made the playoffs. It's crazy. Just an average quarterback. People, Aaron Rodgers ain't what he used to be. He ain't what they had last year. He ain't that. I don't care if he regresses half of who he is. He ain't what they had to deal with last year. And that defense is pretty nice, man. The D-line, I mean, we've been through it through the position groups. The Jets have a squad. But at the end of the day, it's still going to come down to, the most unproven areas of the team. And nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about the true unproven area of the team, which will be answered this year. It's coaching. It's coaching.
For sure.
Nobody talks about that. Yeah, they've done some good things, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, there ain't no excuse now. Any coach would die to have this roster. So if you fail, a coaching change could be coming. I mean, if you fail this, so will the coach, have the right game plan, make the right decisions to put his team in great positions to win games and win enough to make the playoffs and be a real contender. So it's going to be very interesting just to see the demeanor of the team, the seriousness of the team. I don't know the demeanor, because when you bring Aaron Rodgers in, first of all, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and act like I know Salah. All the details about Salah. Richie, I'm sure you know. But is he a player-friendly guy? Y'all have fun. Just have fun playing the game. Or is he strictly Belichick business? And I don't know, but it's going to be interesting for me to see the demeanor of the team on Hard Knocks, because this team is built to be serious, man. This ain't one of them teams that you sit there, enjoy the game. Just have fun when you go out there. Let it come to you. As long as you're having fun. No, y'all going to ruin it. Y'all going to ruin this opportunity. So Hard Knocks is going to be able to answer that for me. Just the demeanor and the seriousness and the attention to detail in which they do everything. So I just want to see how that transforms. So
yeah, I think back-to-back weeks, TD, when you speak with a non-biased perspective on the Jets, you literally speak exactly my language. It's kind of weird.
Saul still trash.
I'm just saying, like, when you're like talking about the Jets objectively, like your points that you make is the exact points I make on my channel, like separate from the roundtable. So it is kind of weird that you do say those things. But hey, I'm not complaining. And the reality is, I haven't watched Hard Knocks since the Jets were on it. I honestly don't give a crap about the Detroit Lions last year. I don't. So, like, I don't even know what the style is like. I'm used to the Jets show themselves, One Jets Drive. So it's going to be interesting. The one thing I will say about from a Jets fan's perspective of being on Hard Knocks is I think it's from the positive spin of it. Some people are saying, oh, it's going to be a distraction. It could bring up all these negative things. Well, how about the positives to it? This Jets team has so much hype around them, and they're on 6 primetime games. This is going to get them prepared. The whole world's going to be watching them right away, right in training camp. The cameras are on. They're all going to be interviewed. The whole world is going to be talking about them immediately. So it's kind of preparing their minds for the season. When the season comes, we're going to be the talk of the league. We have Monday Night Football week 1. We have Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs week 4. Like, we have big-time games right out of the gate. So it's going to be a national story. So I think Hard Knocks could be a good thing for this Jets team to get used to what it feels like to be the talk of the NFL. Because, frankly, the Jets have never had this much hype going into a season in my entire life. I mean, there's never been this much publicity, this much thing. So it only makes sense for the Jets to be on Hard Knocks. So for the young players like Sauce and Garrett and the veteran players as well, they're going to get a taste of it early, of seeing people talking about the last episode of Hard Knocks on social media. Some people talking crap about this, some people liking this. Like, it's going to think, because there's an element to football and even sports in general that not a lot of people like to talk about, is that these players are human beings. And in today's world of social media, they read what people are saying. And sometimes some players get affected based on what people are saying about them. So I think this is a good opportunity for this young Jets football team to get a little taste of what it's like for the world to be talking about them in a negative light and a positive light. Because you already know there's going to be people talking crap about whatever happens with the Jets and Hard Knocks, and vice versa. Some people are going to be praising it. So that's the one thing I will say that I think it's going to help out this Jets team mentally prepare for the pressure that's going to be on the horizon for the entire football season. So we can transition now into a conversation that we're still waiting a decision. But before we do that, I do want to get to all the super chats, because there have been some super chats. So we got first super chat, or the second one technically, from Louis. We miss you on your chat, TD. It's all about family in the preseason. Josh Allen is trash. Dolphins Super Bowl champs.
No lies told.
All right. Well, Louis.
Say all lies told.
All lies, but it's all good.
All lies.
DF Forever, my man, with the $5 super chat. Thank you, as always. Mad respect for you guys. Thanks for the show, and hit the like button. Well, DF Forever, sorry it took us a little bit to get to your super chat, but we do appreciate it very much, and we do appreciate your support, man. And listen to what he said. Hit that thumbs up button. Jalen Ramsey gave up a perfect rating against Josh Allen.
That is true. That is true. Listen, his biggest mistake was doing that GQ article. Because since Josh has absolutely owned that poor young man.
First of all, Ramsey
without Diggs too. Without Diggs,
Ramsey wasn't a Dolphin then. And also, if you want to talk about ratings, Sauce Gardner had two of his worst ratings last year against the Dolphins. Go look it up.
Well, every great corner has their kryptonite.
Is that true? Because he had 2 picks last year, and one of them came against the Dolphins.
Yeah, it still wasn't a good rating.
And he knocked out Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, he must have got murdered for the rest of the games.
I'll double check on that. Dolphins for life. Jets are a joke and Bills are a choke. 13. Pats, ha. Comes in again. Richie drunk off the Jets juice. We will stomp you.
Paying to spew delusion.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of like, Richie drunk off the Jets juice. Okay, that's funny. But then we will stomp you. Then you're basically drunk off the Dolphins juice, my man. You're contradicting yourself because you sound very delusional there as well.
Super Bowl. So
but he comes in with another $5 and he says, TD, chill out, cooking these fools. The Patriots are peasants. The Jets are our son. And Josh Allen is trash. Fins up all day. AFC East, light work.
I chill out a little bit. I chill out. I give.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets are your son. I mean, 40-17, bro. No, 2-up, but still.
Stop it. You already know who you are.
If you were our son, you would have swept us with whoever the quarterback was, because all I heard was, it doesn't matter that Tua was hurt. We're still going to stomp the Jets. And then we came out there and rammed you guys in the fourth quarter.
We were on the third-string quarterback. Stop.
That same third-string quarterback, and I have clips of it, and the whole Dolphin fan base were hyping up to be this god.
Yeah, he was. It just he didn't have any preparation because he was the third string.
Oh, that makes total right.
Yeah,
right. John, Dan, what do the Bills need to do in order to deal with the Bengals' problem they have? Any new moves?
Trade Josh Allen.
All right. So first off, John, I definitely appreciate the question, and I will go off and I will say this: that I think the whole Bills need to get over the Bengals hurdle is the most tired and not creative take in the face of the planet. It's literally been one fucking game. It's been one game that the Buffalo Bills have played the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay? Say, for example, that we go through this regular season and we get blown out by them in the regular season, then yes, I will go on ahead and say, yes, they are a problem. They are something that we need to continuously go out and bring our best game. The Chiefs, 110%. I will die on that hill and say, yes, most definitely. There are things that need to be put in place where we can consistently compete with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Cincinnati Bengals, we played one game because that first game ended up getting canceled, right due to that Hamlin issue, and then also with the Cincinnati Bengals. This is what we need to do with the Cincinnati Bengals, is that we just need to take care and take advantage of their depleted defense, which is going to be out on that field this coming season. I've said this before. This is not the Bengals division this year. The Cleveland Browns are winning that division. It's not going to be the Bengals this year.
Oh, my God. I got to respond. I got to respond.
Can I ask a question?
Hey. I'm not done. Okay, listen. And so the Bengals are a very good team. I think Joe Burrow is a top 3 quarterback in this league. He is very, very good. But at the end of the day, I can honestly go out and I will step out and say this, okay, that I think largely he has a lot to prove this year because he is not going to have the same defense that he had last year since half of his secondary is completely new. There's not a Bengals problem, my friend. If we get blown out by them in the regular season this year, then I will say, yes, there's some moves I think that we need to put into place where we need to be competitive with them. I think our biggest mistake last year was that we were building our own team so we could actually compete against the Chiefs last year, right? And we beat them during the regular season. But then when it came down into other games, whether or not that it was divisional, against the Dolphins and the Jets, that's where we sort of faltered. I'm not even saying that there is a Bengals problem because there's not enough of a sample size for me to say that there is a problem with the Bengals. It was one game. Talk to me after the second game this year in the regular season. That's me.
Go Ray. I'm at the Ray, man.
You can rant. So I just have a follow-up question. And it's going to sound like I'm talking shit, but I'm really not. Because I really have a question. So on our radio show here in Toronto, we have been talking about Sean McDermott. Yeah. And I actually think McDermott's a problem for Buffalo. And I've been going off on it for a long time now. And a lot of Buffalo Bills fans get pissed off at me, right? But we even got into the postseason. Outside of the 13-second game, you know what I mean? When really you guys should have won.
Yeah.
When has Buffalo in the Josh Allen era had a good playoff game? You didn't look great against Miami. When you played the Colts a few years ago, you look like shit. You look terrible against Cincy. It always seems that the postseason,
Tennessee.
There's always a gear that's missing, and I put that on McDermott. I really have. I've really put that on McDermott. Do you think it's a coaching problem? Do you think it's just you're missing a piece of the postseason? What is your thought process around that?
So I think that I would 100% put it on coaching. One thing is that I try not to be a spoiled Buffalo Bills fan because right before that Cincinnati playoff game, we lost a combined a combined just a couple of games by 8 points, that entire season. So it's hard for me to say, okay, like I want a clean house from the coaching staff, because that's just not it. When I look back at all of our playoff falters, I look back at so many different dumbass coaching decisions last year in the Bengals game when it came down into us not trusting our guys to go 3 yards from the damn end zone and like going for the field goal in that situation. 13 seconds, terrible timeouts being called. I think a lot of it has to do with McDermott, but at the same time, I do want to give him a little bit more of a leash. I do want to give him a bit more slack on the leash when it comes into it, because now this is going to be the first year where he is going to be fully responsible for calling the defense, right? You can't expect Josh Allen in this offense to absolutely dominate and put up 35-plus points each and every single game. We're supposedly supposed to have a top 3, top 5 defense each and every single year. There's a lack of creativity with play calling. And as of right now, Sean McDermott needs to prove that it was a Leslie Frazier issue, because there's a lot that's about to come to fruition this year. 1,010%, I put it on coaching. With lack of creativity, lack of adjusting, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to prove me wrong. But yes, right. Short answer, right to your question, yes, I would put it on our coaching 110%. Definitely not execution.
This is the problem with the Buffalo Bills.
Of course, you're coming in with your take.
In their playoff aspirations and their success, okay? They keep chasing the Chiefs instead of building the Buffalo Bills as a all-around, well-rounded team. They are strictly trying to get the pieces and design their play, design everything geared around beating the Chiefs. And let me tell you why. Because you have a hangover from your first playoff appearance that really mattered back in 2020. Now, in 2019, you went to the playoffs and lost in the wild card to the Texans. Deshaun Watson gave Josh Allen that work. But in 2020, when your team was actually on the stage and saying, all right, we're here now, Josh Allen is a new person. When y'all lost to the Chiefs and they went on to glory, y'all said, that's the team. We got to just figure out a way. We just feel that we're so good, we have to figure out a way to beat them, because we won all 3 rounds to get to them, to go to the big dance. They're the only thing standing in our way. And y'all keep forgetting the fact that the NFL landscape changes every year. It changes every year. That's why in 2021, when you built yourself to beat the Chiefs, I believe you actually beat them in the regular season. Then you got demolished by
last year too.
But then you got demolished by Tennessee. You got demolished by them in a primetime game in which y'all needed, even though you still survived after losing it, but you needed that game. It was important. Y'all got demolished like 40-something to 17 or something like that? They killed y'all because of the way their team is built. So then y'all go up and y'all lose to Kansas City again, and that's all on your mind. We got to get past Kansas City. And last year, I said it to y'all before the Bengals game, Dan, on this channel. I said, y'all been so worried about chasing the Kansas City Chiefs. Watch what the Bengals go do to y'all. Watch what the Bengals about to do to y'all, because the way y'all are built and the way the Bengals are built, y'all can't beat them. And you want to sit here and talk about this one game? They were finna stop a hole in y'all neck before that game got canceled. And you and everybody else know it. The game started out with a hole getting stomped in y'all neck. They went down the field at ease without resistance, scored, and stopped y'all. And y'all,
so we were moving the ball perfectly fine during that game as well.
Then what happened?
As far as anything goes down to it, with every single playoff loss we have had for the past 3 years, I blame one thing. I will blame the defense every single day over anything that our offense has ever done. So many people are so
beat
ready
y'all
to put
27-10. The Bengals beat y'all 27-10, and you want to.
That's
you want to stop?
The defense.
No. You know good and well Josh Allen in that offense can't put up 10. You can't put up no 10 points and try to blame the defense.
It's called momentum. It's called
momentum. Hold on.
3 and out there, a 3 and out there, a 3 and out there, just giving us better field position at the end of the day. It's the defense. Our defense is the reason why we have lost the past 3 playoff games. 110%. I know that we didn't necessarily do our best, but trust me. our
27
offense
to
is
10.
looked at. And so our defense is supposed to be top 5 in the damn league. You can't expect our offense to put up 35 points each and every single game that we play. We do it quite often, but we can't expect that. This is the NFL. It's our defense, which is the issue with any of our embarrassing losses. It's our defense. They need to live up to the expectations.
Ladies and gentlemen, watching this show right now, how do you beat the Chiefs in the playoffs? Is your defense going to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs? No. You just got to outscore them. Y'all built your team to beat the Chiefs, not because of your defense. You know you can't stop them. Y'all built your team to outscore them, and y'all know that's the truth. The Buffalo Bills has built their team to outscore the Chiefs, and y'all failed to do it. It's the offense that's the issue. You're not stopping the Chiefs' offense. They are going to put up points, just like that overtime game. You are not going to stop their offense. Y'all have built to beat them. You got to outscore them. It is on Josh Allen. That bum put up 10 points. 10, Dan. 10. 10. And you want to blame
nothing to do with it.
Y'all worse than the two in years. Y'all worse than the two in years when it comes to Josh Allen. Y'all
average starting field position in that game. Average starting field position in that game. I'm saying our defense could have done us a little bit more favors. Maybe like not line our DBs 10 yards off the line of scrimmage each and every single fucking play. Maybe we would have had a better shot of having better field position and going through with that. But you know what? Things are different because now we actually have a credible slot option for Josh Allen, and Stephon Diggs is not the only option going into it. We'll see what's going on. Listen.
You know what, Dan?
Sean McDermott.
To the rescue.
Bills fans remind me. No, seriously. Bills fans remind me of Patriot fans back in the Brady era. Seriously, because I hear
without the chips,
and it's so funny because I have this in my notes for our show on Sunday. We're gonna talk about this because I've been watching shit. Like back in like the heyday of New England, like in Brady's prime, the Patriots could be down 3-0 at halftime, and Patriots Twitter would be screaming about how the defense has to get their shit together. You know what I mean? Like, it was always the defense's fault.
It's always the defense.
The Patriots would lose 7-3 and be like, well, if the fucking defense could have stopped it, they would have won. And I'm like, yeah, 3-0. Like, what the fuck? And
can't
that's
make this stuff up.
That's what Bills fans are starting to remind me of. And I could see Jets fans going this direction, too, this year. Like,
I was about to say, the Jets has always been, and last year, the complete opposite. It was the opposite. The defense is great. Offense stinks. That's been the narrative for us forever.
But that was true last year, though. Like,
I know. It's true, for sure.
But, like, I used to watch Jets fans, like, rigorously defend Sam Darnold. And I'd just be sitting there like, I don't fucking see what you guys are seeing. You know what I mean? Like,
Sam.
like,
Sammy.
Just, like, the kid's seeing ghosts. He's not a good quarterback. You know?
Oh, poor Sam. I mean, hey, we'll see it. He's going to lead the 49ers to the promised land this year, Ray. Come on now. I'm just kidding.
But I get it, Dan. I get it. Because, see, we're actually going in the opposite direction in New England now. Like, I think 75% of our fan base is like, they'd rather have Nathan Peter than Mac Jones.
And so you need a villain.
I'm sorry.
And so
I'm
fan bases need a villain.
It's reversed the other way. You know what I mean?
I'm not finna see.
Yo,
here.
TD, what's your villain, bro? Like, what's your villain? Like when the Dolphins,
I ain't done murky.
So when the Dolphins lose,
let's go.
So when the Dolphins lose, who is your villain, bro? Like, who do you throw to the fire first? Your offense or your defense?
Whoever fault it is. Whoever fault it is. Now let me tell y'all something. I hold Dan Mitchell accountable since he's been winning the AFC East every year for the last few years.
Since the channel started.
I hold him more accountable on this channel than anybody, and I'm about to expose him. He gonna sit there because this is what I tell y'all. When I give Dan that business, he be coming with these false narratives, talking about go look at the starting field position in that game versus the Bengals. Okay, you want to do that? Let me show y'all something. I'm about to give y'all the Bengals down in distance. Okay. The first drive, 6 plays, 79 yards, touchdown.
Whose fault is that? The defense.
Hold on. No, you talk about down and distance. They had to go to distance. Then I'm going to get to y'all's, okay? Then they went 10 plays, 72 yards for a touchdown. They went 14 plays, 65 yards for a field goal. They went 6 plays, 44 yards, and I believe they missed the field goal. They went 12 plays, 75 yards. They went 9 for a touchdown. They went 9 plays, 61 yards for a field goal. Almost every drive at the end of the day, they offense did their thing. You're not stopping the Bengals offense. You're not stopping the Chiefs offense. That's what they're designed to do. Now let's talk about this Buffalo Bills offense that's supposed to keep up with them. That's what they built the team to do. Buffalo Bills, 3 plays, 6 yards, punt the ball. Next drive, 3 plays, 5 yards, punt the ball. Next drive, congratulations, Josh Allen. You got 15 plays for 75 yards, and you actually took 8 minutes off the clock, and you got a touchdown, okay? Then you went 7 plays, 30 yards to punt the ball. Then you went 3 plays, 8 yards to punt the ball. Then you went 10 plays, 59 yards, and had a turnover on downs because Josh Allen couldn't get the 4th down play because he was a bum as always. And then you had 8 plays, 53 yards, about to score, and Josh Allen threw a pick to end the game. And the Bengals ended it taking knees. So at the end of the day, you want to sit here and talk about the defense? You're not stopping the Bengals or the Chiefs offense. Where was your offense? All this money, Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen.
We showed up
where were
every single game of the regular season, lost by damn 8 points. All combined losses during the regular season. Listen,
we're talking about the playoffs, 27-10. See, he ran, y'all. He ran. I told you. I got him.
Oh, wow, he lagged out. You gave him you brought up the facts. That was pretty hard. Sorry, Dan. I don't know if you're watching this, Dan, but I don't know how we can respond for that, TD.
Josh Allen is a bum, and I keep trying to tell everybody that. He's a good bum. I ain't going to sit there and act delusional. He's a really good bum. At the end of the day, when he gets to the playoffs, it's always his fault.
He's a really good bum. That's the first time I heard you say that.
He's a really good bum. It's always his fault.
That's a good clip with no context.
He's a really good bum.
Oh, it
kind of makes sense, though.
I'm talking, well, honestly, this ain't about Josh Allen. I'm talking about the team, though. The way they designed that team was to put up more points, okay? Well, they know they're not going to stop the Chiefs.
It's like the Pittsburgh Steelers used to build their team to beat the Patriots, but forgot that they had to beat other teams in the playoffs, too. And that's why I think once Tomlin came over, I think they only faced one time in the playoffs because they couldn't get there because they literally built their team to beat the Patriots, and then they would lose to some fucking team like Tennessee that they shouldn't have lost to because the team was built differently. You can't do that. You can't chase. And I mean, I was lucky enough for a lot of years to be on the end of teams building to be Rex Ryan did that. I mean, the Jets during that era owned the Patriots for a lot of it, that Rex era, but you did nothing. You know what I mean? There was no Super Bowl. There was no, you know, going to an AFC Championship game means nothing if you don't win the championship.
You got to win it.
You know
hey, but we beat you in the playoffs, Ray. That's our Super Bowl. How about that?
Yeah, I know, but the Patriots won 3 Super Bowls after that. You know what I mean?
I know.
I don't care about a lot like a divisional round loss if you're successful. And I say it all the time. It's this season. Like people are like, I just want the Patriots to make the playoffs. I'm like, I'd rather come in last than get blown out in the wild card game again. Because going through an entire season to get blown out by Buffalo in the wild card game was the biggest waste of my life. You know, like I would have rather been last and drafted Trevor Lawrence. You know what I mean? Or something of that nature. Like it's I don't know. And maybe that's my greedy mentality, but it's like I've always had the mentality of like you're first or you're last. And when you beat a team if you build your team to beat you're never going to be successful across the NFL. The Patriots are successful because they built the Patriots and didn't care what everybody else did.
And you look at the Patriots team. They did the defense just like Buffalo doing now, right? But they were they a passing team? Were they a running team? No, they were. What's the game plan that's going to beat this team? They could adjust to any team. Buffalo is a one-trick pony, man. Spread it out with Josh Allen and then you put a few design runs for him in there and a few halfback draws to catch him off guard. That's it. There's no power run. There's no true play action. There's none of that. And that's the issue. So teams get to play them straight up, kind of knowing what's coming at them. And it's hard to stop, but at the same token, you know what's coming at you.
The Jets are building their team. Their villain is themselves, right? They're building their team to not beat themselves.
Well, I'll say this. Y'all have the personnel to be well-rounded to where teams will be guessing what are they about to do. I will say that.
That's my point.
Buffalo, you go up in there, you already know what's coming.
And that's the thing. Like, this is not a knock to any of the Bills fans in the chat, but the freaking Bills coming from a Jets fan's perspective, based off what happened last year, I'm more afraid of the Dolphins than the Bills, just from the Jets versus the Dolphins or the Jets versus the Bills perspective. The Jets absolutely made Josh Allen look silly. I remember going into that game like, oh, wow. Oh, there's Dan. Sorry, Dan. Starting to talk.
So I got a delusion alert on my phone. And so I got like an alert that says too much delusion, phone powering off. But luckily,
Dan, you got here just in time. I was just talking crap on the Bills, saying that.
Listen,
I don't know.
You know what, Richie? And so listen, man. Like you put it eloquently, like just 30 minutes ago. You said, you know what? The greater you are, the more criticism you are going to appreciate. And you know what? Listen, man. Honestly, since we started this show, who's been on top of the division? Buffalo Bills. I would be picking on me on a regular
Hey, Dan,
basis.
you could stand on that mountain. You have every single right to, because we have not witnessed a AFC East winner on this channel since we started this thing, besides the Bills since. So you have every right to puff your chest, because get it all out there, 'cause it's coming to an end, baby. Aaron Rodgers, let's go. Come on, baby. We got it. Yeah. I feel it, TD. It's coming. Come on. I feel it.
Richie, when we're in week 16 and y'all got 5 W's, I'm gonna be laughing at you so hard.
Oh man, come on, man. Don't bring me that negativity. But we got to get into some super chats, because we've been getting into some crazy debates, and we've been getting a good generous super chats coming in. John with the generous super chat. TD, you need to stop with the Jets hate and stop drinking before the show.
Hey, listen, no comment. Plead the fifth.
Appreciate the donation, John. Sorry it took. And again, for everyone that sends in super chats, sorry for it's a little delayed to acknowledge them, because we like to, talk about stuff, and then we get into heated debates, and then we save all the super chats to get through them all right in this moment. So, John, thanks for the patience. Dolphins for Life comes in with another super chat. Dolphins 11-3, last 14 versus Jets. You have no chance. Honestly, that means nothing to me. I really don't care about, the Patriots beat the Jets 13 straight times. I still have confidence that the Jets can beat the Patriots this year. I'm honestly not like that.
And so never cry about group chat analysts. And so that's what I'm calling them now, group chat analysts.
But Dan, you're worried about the Chiefs and the Bengals, but this year you won't even get to them. We hear now, you old fools. Fins up. TD, tell them. They're not ready.
Dude, listen, honestly,
Super
man,
Bowl, baby.
It's funny, how there's holiday months, right? There's National Women's Month, there's Black History Month. I would love to call December Dolphins Choke Month, because it happens every single damn year. That's what I'm donning December now. Dolphins Choke Month. It happens every year. It is history repeating itself, and I can't wait for it.
I call it Christmas, but that's just me.
I'm not even a Dolphins fan, but TD's speaking facts.
Mike, you know nothing. Get out of here.
And then this was TD's take, Dan. I think you missed it, and I thought it was pretty hilarious. Josh Allen is a really good bum.
He's a really good bum? Get out of here, dude.
It makes sense, though. He's a good
bum. A good bum.
Hey, there are some good bums, man. Shout out to all my bums out there, man.
And so I think that how I'm gonna die is during the show, just during high blood pressure, and it's just gonna send me over the roof one night. So if I ever die, it's gonna be on this show.
Hey, man,
it's gonna be just pure blood pressure through the roof, and I just X out on live YouTube.
I mean, you never know. Josh Allen could be a great bum this year.
I hate all of you.
They'll win 8 games and miss the playoffs. They ain't gonna lose it.
We'll see.
They ain't gonna retire. He's gonna retire.
All right, rapid fire, because we don't need to go deep into this segment, because we talked about it in extent last week. Gut feeling prediction: Dalvin Cook signs with Ray.
Fuck, I have no idea. Honestly,
Great answer.
I think he's gonna sign with Hopkins though, wherever he goes. Honestly, I could see if the Chris Jones deal can get done, I could see them both ending up on peanut salaries with the Chiefs. I'm not even kidding.
That's a wild card. Never thought about that.
I could see them both ring chasing. I think that's why Hopkins hasn't signed yet. I think he's waiting for that Jones deal to get done, free up the salary cap, and go ring chase.
TD, gut tells you.
I want to answer both of them. Dalvin Cook, number one, he ends up back with the Vikings. Okay, because they already have to pay him $2 million this year, regardless. And number two, he ends up being a Jet. Number 3, he's a Dolphin. That's my top 3. As far as Hopkins,
You think Vikings number 1? Actually,
it could, man.
that's a possible.
Who?
Where he's coming from, they have offer. I mean, they still have to pay him $2 million unless another team grabs him. So that already runs into what they were paying him. They're just trying to get a bargain for what they would have owed him. So they have an offer on the table too that came out today. So that'll be very interesting. But D-Hop is really where the chips are going to fall. I think that's going to have a lot to do. But I hope that Dalvin Cook chooses where he wants to go before Saquon Barkley makes his deal, because they're talking some crazy stuff out of New York, potentially up to $14 million for Barkley, which is insane. And if that happens, that's going to flip this whole situation upside down. It's going to be all about the money then. There ain't no favorite of home or anything. So, but D-Hop, I think he's going to end up in New England 1 or Tennessee number 2.
Interesting. Tua is doo-doo. What's your gut tell you of where Cook
So I think he's going to sign with the New Jersey Generals. No, I mean, honestly.
Who's that?
It's an XFL team. No, like, it's honestly, man, like, I heard that he denied the Dolphins, like, offer and everything along those lines, especially with Dalvin Cook. It's clear that the league just doesn't care about running backs whatsoever. It's clear that the overall value of them is slowly starting to diminish. I still think he's going to sign with the Dolphins. I still think he is. I think that's where his landing spot is going to be. And as far as DeAndre Hopkins is concerned, man, I do know that he has offers from the Pats and the Titans, allegedly. I think he's ring chasing as well, as much as I hate to say it. I see him being a Chief way before he's Buffalo Bill, unfortunately.
Buffalo can't move enough money. That's the problem, right?
No,
Kansas City, if they can get the Jones deal done, they can open up a ton of cap, which they can then afford to bring Hopkins in on a ring chasing deal. Buffalo just doesn't have that flexibility.
We don't.
That's why I think if it wasn't for that, he would have signed already with either the Titans or the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm 1,000% agree.
We will see. I'm going to say Dalvin Cook to the Jets until it's proven otherwise. But DeAndre Hopkins, my gut tells me probably the Patriots. So DF Forever comes with a generous $10 super chat. TD, you need to have a better understanding of what Buffalo went through and what was going on the field against Cincy. I think you are delusional to the fact of how bad our offensive line was. Respect you, but you delusional. Muted.
Stop trying to blame the offensive line for your quarterback being trash. If you want to sit here and talk about your offensive line being trash, at the end of the day, you ain't got no money. You're banking on your draft picks this year to make it better. They're not going to be any better. You have what you have. Stop crying about it. Suck it up. Just like the Dolphins, we've decided to suck it up, go to war, win games. The problem with y'all, you can't win games when it matters most. You can't win the playoff game that you need the most. You get sent home because your bum quarterback can't pick heads or tails correctly.
How many games have y'all won when it mattered?
13 seconds.
Last year. No,
13
no,
seconds.
Dolphins. I'm talking about how many games have y'all won when it mattered?
13 seconds.
If you're not answering my question, you're just 13 seconds.
13 seconds.
Glenn says, just think the Bills could have had Mahomes and Jefferson, but nope, they took Josh Allen to Diggs. 2017 traded 10 picks to Chiefs, gave min picks for Diggs.
And Diggs about to have the biggest fall off ever this year. Watch.
You are out of your mind.
Okay.
You are crazy.
Glenn, appreciate the $5 super chat.
You're wild.
I think the what's going to come out of the Bills is whether Tre'Davious White can bounce back or not. That's going to be the real.
I agree.
Because if he looks the way he looked next season, because in reality, all 4 teams probably have top 10 defenses. I think the Bills are on the cusp. The Jets, Patriots, and Dolphins are locks. I saw some breakdown the other day, and they had them set at 4, 5, and 6 respectively. I think it went Miami, New York, Patriots, and then
somebody got it right.
And
Miami.
Buffalo.
What the heck did they do last year?
Sorry, Buffalo sits around that top 10 mark, but Tre'Davious White's going to have a big impact on what happens this season, and because Poyer's going to get hurt. You know what I mean? Like it's, and then you got what does Micah Hyde look like? It's gonna be The White is going to be the big answer.
And I feel bad for White because the whole world's going to watch Garrett Wilson torch his ass on week 1. It's going to be big. Woo, it's going to suck.
And so DF Forever does come in and ask a very, very good question. He says, answer, TD, when did Miami win when it counted? In fact, it's funny. I look back. And so I look
let me
back,
answer. He asked
and
me.
like
Dan.
anytime I see,
he asked me. Dan.
And so anytime I see something on like ESPN or Fox Sports being like, this is a very important game, this is a must-win. I haven't seen the Miami Dolphins win a must-win game since I was 9 years old.
Dan Mitchell.
When was the last time the Dolphins won a must-win game? I don't remember.
1972, baby, undefeated season. That's right,
Yeah,
Ray.
back when you were
Super
negative
Bowl.
37 years old.
Super Bowl, Dan.
Come on.
We have a Super Bowl, Dan. Okay, when the last time you seen your team win a Super Bowl? No, when the last time you heard your team won a Super Bowl?
Get out of here, man. Get out of here, bro.
Okay. Let me know when you get a Lombardi, then talk.
Ooh. All right. Well, we're going to finish off the show with some call-ins. Keep it quick. We're going to limit these to like 60 seconds a piece so we can get you guys in and out. And then we're going to wrap up the shows. Let's get it going. But first, if you guys can hit that like button, I think we get to 200 likes. We're at 133 with over 300 people watching. Everybody smash that like button if you're enjoying the show. This has been a pretty crazy show. So let's welcome in Jimmy
Casket.
What you got today, Casket?
Can't hear you, Jimmy.
He goes like Josh Allen.
Number 5, going once, going twice. Jimmy.
Casket.
Poor Jimmy. All right. We got it. King Allen, Andy Johnson.
What's up, King Allen?
He's going to be good.
Okay.
What's up, Andy?
Bro, I'm suing you over that avatar, bro.
Andy, you there?
0 for 2.
All right. Well, that's unfortunate. That's all we got.
Richie,
Miami
you
beat
know
the
all of
Jets.
it. Yes, man.
The Jets also beat Miami. Thanks for the $2. Well, that's going to wrap it up. But first, before we wrap it up, there's no one else coming in. I'm going to give it a couple seconds. See if there's anyone that wants to join. Doesn't seem like it. It is what it is. But guys, if you do want to purchase your tickets for that Week 1 massacre that the Jets are going to put on the Bills, we still have tickets available. If you click the link that's pinned at the top of the chat, you will get tickets to Week 1 and sit with TD, Dan, myself, and Master at Work is going to be in attendance. We're going to be at a tailgate hosted by Gotham City Crew, and it comes with an all-inclusive tailgate expense. There's only 7 tickets left, so those are definitely going to get sold out soon. So if you're interested in coming to the event and meeting me, meeting Dan, watching Dan and I going at it in the middle of the game, just going crazy, watching week number 1 Monday Night Football at MetLife Stadium, doesn't get better than that, right? So make sure you guys click the link at the top of the chat to purchase your tickets. Remember, there's 7 tickets left. Very, very limited amount of tickets remaining. So if you guys want to come, click that link at the top of the chat to get your tickets today before they get sold out. And if anybody asking for more information, simply click the link at the top of the chat and it will send you to the link of the price and the details. If you have any questions about the event, feel free to email us at afceastroundtable@gmail.com. So
Chris said he may come just to give me the bids. Come on through, Chris.
some people are wondering, how do you get on? So if you want to come on to our channel for Q&A, you click the link. Click the link in the description and you become a Patreon member. All of our Patreon members gets access to the exclusive Q&A segments at the end of every live stream. So that's going to wrap up today's show. Anything else the fellas want to say?
Hey, man, y'all take care of yourselves, man. Football is right around the corner. Don't worry. We're going to get you there, and I'm excited about this season. I know you all excited about your teams. Man, I think all our teams going to be good, and I'm most excited at the fact that y'all get to witness the Dolphins back on the top of the map winning the Super Bowl this year. Thank y'all.
Ray, it was great to have you on, my man.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Certainly get your tickets. I'm very excited to meet each and every single one of you. You'll be able to sit with us. I know that somebody in the live chat actually just said, Dan, when the Bills are blowing out the Jets, you should probably leave so you don't get jumped after the game. I think that's going to happen regardless. Like, I think I'm going to get jumped win or lose, so to be honest with you. But, I mean, hey, you know what? That's even more of a reason for those of you who want to see that happen. Buy your tickets. Make it work.
Sounds good. Dan, cannot wait to see you, my friend. It's going to be a battle. And for all the Patreon members that are trying to join in late, sorry. Next week, we'll get you in for sure. We tried to get in the first 2 callers, and they did not answer. So, unfortunately, time has expired. So, we'll catch you guys next week. Peace and love. We got a lot of new segments launching on this channel very soon. Look out for this, folks. We're going to do more than just one show a week on Wednesday nights starting in August. So we're going to have more live shows, more pre-recorded shows, a lot of new content coming your way here on the channel. So we'll see you guys then, and let's go Jets.
Josh Allen is trash.